Welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today, let's talk about demand relationships. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. My name is Kale Houser. I appreciate you joining me today. I will be your host for however long I decide to talk. What I want to talk about today a little bit is this concept of a demand relationship. And are you, as the leader, as the owner, as the manager of your corporation, of your company, of your division, of your office, are you in a demand relationship with your employees? And what I mean by that is, are you demanding of your employees a certain level of performance, a certain level of efficiency, a certain level of effectiveness, and all the things that go into being a good employee, quote unquote, a good employee? And what you have to realize in today's society, in today's particular economic situation that we are in as of late March of 2023, is the tables have very much turned in favor of employees right now because of how our economy is going and the money that the government is dumping into, unemployment and the insanity of shutting down businesses and shutting down people getting to go outside of their house the last couple of years. And then the mentality that how that has shifted, between remote work and not wanting to work and doing things, a different style than what would be considered traditional in the US economy over the past, many, many decades. The power, as it were, has shifted from the employer, like, hey, you're going to do what I say, otherwise you're going to get fired, to the employee of, hey, I'm going to do what I want, otherwise I'm going to quit. And now, because it's easy to get caught up into this kind of concept and this fear of, there are no good people out there, there's no one that wants to work anymore, and all those types of things that go into the classic kind of stereotypes and examples of today's workforce. And that, to a degree, is certainly, there are aspects of that. It is not as easy anymore as putting an ad in your local newspaper, like dishwasher wanted $4 an hour. And you've got, a whole handful of kids that want to work and earn that $4 an hour. That's not necessarily the case anymore. I remember hearing a report on TV, kind of at the height of the pandemic of this dishwasher, this restaurant in Los Angeles was having to pay $25 an hour for a dishwasher in his restaurant. And he still wasn't finding people that were willing to show up for work and all that kind of thing. And certainly, obviously, the issue at that point was the government was paying them to stay home. They could literally stay home, do nothing, and collect a paycheck that absolutely met their needs. Now, certainly they weren't getting rich or anything off of it, but if you're a kind of a lazy by nature person anyway, and you can kind of take this time off and do whatever, sit at home and play video games and eat Cheetos, and the government pays you to do that, heck yeah, a lot of people are going to take you up on that offer. But I digress just a little bit. So the point being is, do you realize or do you understand, or are you still operating under this kind of old and antiquated concept of a demand relationship? As in, you are the employee, you're the boss, they will do what you, or not you are the employee, but you're the employer, you're the boss, your employees will do what you tell them or you're going to fire them. And that just isn't how modern business is done anymore. You cannot have this type of relationship. Now, this is the model that the military uses. But it's not, you will do what I say or you're fired, as in we're going to kick you out. It's you do what you say, otherwise I'm going to dock your pay. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to, take away privileges. I'm going to give you extra duty, like mandatory. Like there are legal actions that go along with that. That's why the military is such a horrible, horrible example. And a lot of, especially officers that come out of that military mindset and that military construct, they don't pick up on this. And that was what was frustrating for me coming out of the military and having to deal with this and see this, is that people, especially lifers, what I call them, people that, they went to college and then they went straight into the military and then they think they're God's gift to the universe, being an officer in the military and blah, 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 because they're sit around and told them, everyone has to follow your orders because you're an officer. They never make that transition and understand that it's people that do the work, and it's people that want to show up for their own reasons, and you have to figure out what those reasons are and help encourage them and help them meet their goals and their vision and their mission and all those types of things. And a lot of, especially again, former military, the veterans out there, not to throw shade at veterans, we all love veterans, right? I'm one of them included. Some of them take it a little too far, admittedly. They never make that transition from that military management mindset, leadership, quote unquote, heavy on the quote unquote leadership aspect that the military teaches them, versus what's real and applicable. Because if you bring that type of mentality into your business, if you bring that type of mentality into your organization, if you're building your own shop, if you're building your own company, it's not going to survive. People do not thrive under that situation. You're not kicking down doors in Fallujah, sorry to say, anymore. You're not, launching jets off of an aircraft carrier deck anymore. You're trying to run an 8-track business, and people have got their own issues and their own families and their own, sicknesses to deal with, and all the types of things that go into that. And what you have to understand is it takes a different kind of leadership to get the things that you need done in today's modern workforce, and especially in today's modern economy. And I would argue you need to get out of that demand relationship into more of a mutually beneficial relationship. Employees, yes, it used to just be that, hey, you got your paycheck, and that's how we are mutually beneficial. You work, I give you a paycheck. But it's so far beyond that anymore. And if you're still operating under that old concept of, well, they should just be happy they're getting a paycheck, or they just be happy they have a job, that's not it anymore. There are so many options for people, even between starting their own companies, starting their own thing, side hustles, online stuff, people have options now, and you're not the only show in town. And there's so many different options. And in fact, I often wonder, as I'm seeing people, just throughout my day to day working at these various jobs, I'm going like, why are they working there? There are so many other opportunities for people now, that you don't have to work at a gas station. You don't have to work at a grocery store. You don't have to do some of these other things that are, kind of entry level type of positions. But, that's a whole nother concept. That's a whole nother thing to talk about, with mindset and limiting beliefs and all that type of stuff. But I wanted to talk to you and just reinforce this fact that if you are under that, they should just be happy that I'm giving them a paycheck, and, they need to do what they're told type of mentality, it's not going to last. You're never going to build an amazing organization that way. You need to start getting on their side. You need to start bringing them onto your side by creating that culture, creating that environment that they want to be in beyond just the paycheck, which includes helping them reach their goals, getting them aligned with your vision, getting them aligned with the mission of your organization, so that they feel a part of something instead of just showing up for a paycheck. Make sense? I hope that helps. If you found this beneficial, you think somebody can benefit from hearing it, please make sure you share. If you did not like it, don't share it with anybody, but come back tomorrow and we'll try again. I look forward to talking to you no matter where you're at in the world. Have a fantastic afternoon. Bye.